In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Beneficent. Now the main headlines. Shias of Ahlul Bayt hold mourning processions on martyrdom anniversary of Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra alayha salam in Karbala. Korean religious groups seek to dispel Islam fears. High growth potential for Thailand's halal food industry. New report reveals massive human rights violations at EU's external borders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Ayub Nouinou and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV free. Shia followers of Ahlul Bayt from the holy city of Karbala and other cities held mourning processions today, Friday, on the anniversary of the martyrdom of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her. The holy shrines of Imam Hussein and his brother Abul Fadl Abbas, peace be upon them, were covered in black on this tragic anniversary. The believers also held mourning ceremonies on this tragedy, which included religious lectures that shed light on the blessed biography of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her, and the injustice and aggression she was subjected to by the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. An interfaith group in South Korea organized a seminar to help people clear misconceptions about Islam, including women wearing the hijab, to forge better ties with the minority faith in the country. The Korean Religious Peace Conference held a public seminar on the dialogue between Korean religions and Islam titled Islam, Approaching Peaceful Coexistence and Future, from December the 5th to 6th in the capital Seoul, the Catholic Times reported on December the 7th. In his opening address, Kim Don-eok, president of the Korean Muslim Association, emphasized that Islam is a religion of peace. There are people who misunderstand the true meaning of Islam in Korean society. I hope that many people will understand and cooperate with Korean Islam through this seminar, said Kim. The interfaith event was established in 1965 by leaders of 6 religious groups with an aim to promote dialogue and harmony among followers of various religions. Muslims in South Korea are estimated to number around 200,000 or 0.4% of the 51.7 million population, according to the Korean Muslim Federation. Thailand's halal food industry has a bright future with rising value of export to Muslim nations and the increasing number of Muslim tourists visiting the country, the Trade Policy and Strategy Office said on Thursday. TPSO Poonpong Nayanapakorn said Thailand exported halal foods worth in the region of $4.681 million to the 57 member nations of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation during the first 9 months of this year. The value rose by 64.65% from the same period last year, Poonpong said. In 2014, the value of the halal food exports to the 57 OIC nations was $4.188 billion, an increase of 4.12% from the previous year, Poonpong added. The value of halal food exports was 12.13% of the overall food export value. Poonpong added that the halal food industry has a bright future because of the large Muslim population worldwide and in Thailand. In Thailand, figures from the National Statistical Office of Thailand show that there are 3.639 million Thai Muslims, or 5.4% of the Thai population. Let us remind our respected viewers of today's headlines. Shias of Ahlul Bayt hold mourning processions on martyrdom anniversary of Lady Fatima al-Zahra alayha salam in Karbala. Korean religious groups seek to dispel Islam fears. high growth potential for Thailand's halal food industry. Also tonight, Saudi Arabia to hold Hajj Expo 2023 in January. Thousands of migrants were beaten, humiliated and arbitrarily detained in the EU's external borders before being illegally pushed back, a new report by a group of human rights organizations has revealed. The Border Violence Monitoring Network has documented hundreds of cases in which European border guards used gruesome tactics to push back refugees, including women and children. These tactics included extreme and prolonged beatings, the shaving of heads, forced undressing, sexual assaults, dog attacks, non-consensual medical treatments, and attacks with electric discharge weapons, according to the report. The Black Book of Pushbacks 2022 report included testimonies of more than 700 migrants who faced degrading treatment, abuse or torture while trying to cross the EU's external borders in the last 2 years. Human rights experts said they will continue with their work, documenting human rights violations at the EU's external borders in order to force governments to end these illegal practices and bring those responsible to justice. And now we continue with some short news. The Najaf Al-Ashraf Center for Strategic Studies, associated with the Supreme Religious Authority Office in the holy city of Najaf, in cooperation with Al-Atta Foundation for the Development of Education and Human Rights, held the first level TOT training course. Mr. Aqil Al-Athari, International Training Consultant, lectured at the course. During the session, the lecturer addressed a number of topics including fundamentals of training and education, influence, factors and relationship to training, professional trainer positions, the art of suggesting power and strength in training, self-confidence and its impact on the trainees. The Mosque Al-Husseiniya of Al Yasin, affiliated with the Shirazi Religious Authority in Sydney, Australia, began the Fatimid mourning ceremonies on the martyrdom anniversary of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her. The mourning ceremonies included the recitation of verses from the Holy Quran, congregational prayers, and 2 lectures in Arabic and English. The lecture shed light on the blessed biography of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her, and the injustice and aggression she was subjected to by the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. The representative of Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Husseini al-Shirazi in Madagascar, Hujjat al-Islam, Sheikh Muhammad Rida, said that the Ahlul Bayt Center, affiliated with the Shirazi Religious Authority in the city of Majunga, held a mourning ceremony on the martyrdom anniversary of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her. The ceremony included religious lectures that shed light on the blessed biography of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her, and the injustice and aggression she was subjected to by the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. The government of Japan extended its support to the Pakistan Polio eradication program by providing more than $3.87 million as a grant. The grant will be used for the procurement of essential oral polio vaccine, which will reach more than 18.61 million people under 5 years old children in Pakistan living in endemic and outbreak districts. The notes of the grant were signed and exchanged between the government of Japan and the United Nations Children's Fund, otherwise known as UNICEF, and between Japan International Cooperation Agency and UNICEF. Minister Abdul Qadir Patel, the Ministry of National Health Services, Regulation and Coordination, and other dignitaries were present during the signing event. Pakistan has come a long way in the last 30 years. From thousands of children paralyzed by polio virus in the 1980s and 1990s, we have managed to reduce the number of cases and affected communities drastically, said Health Minister Abdul Qadir Patel. Referring to the commitment of the government to polio eradication, the minister said the program has successfully restricted virus circulation to endemic districts in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, We are committed and optimistic about eradicating polio by 2023. The minister extended his sincere appreciation for the support of the government of Japan and partners for their unwavering commitment to polio eradication. The US Bloomberg news agency criticized what it described as the shameful silence of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, otherwise known as MBS, in not addressing the suffering of millions of Uyghur Muslims in the Chinese Xinjiang region during his lengthy and controversial meeting with the Chinese president in Riyadh, after his visit to Saudi Arabia in the framework of the Chinese-Saudi summit. Bloomberg says that while it was more appropriate for Mohammed bin Salman, the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, to address the suffering of the Uyghur Muslims during his meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Riyadh, the Saudi Crown Prince decided, on the contrary, to support Chinese persecution of Muslims. The Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah is organising a conference and exhibition for Hajj and Umrah services, Hajj Expo 2023, next January. The exhibition will be held in Jeddah to showcase innovative services and solutions to facilitate the procedures for pilgrims to visit the two holy mosques easily and smoothly in Mecca and Medina, raise the quality of services, and contribute to enriching their religious and cultural experience. The event aims to bring together decision makers, entrepreneurs, innovators, and researchers under one roof to discuss and implement a set of solutions and innovative options to facilitate the journey of Hajj and Umrah with ease and reassurance, and to submit proposals for future projects to develop infrastructure and rehabilitate religious sites and historical monuments. The Hajj Expo 2023 includes a review of various innovations, programs, and qualitative initiatives aimed at raising the quality of services provided during Hajj and Umrah seasons, in addition to providing workshops that discuss the activities through which the ministry seeks to achieve excellence and sustainability in serving the Hajj and Umrah pilgrims in cooperation with its partners from the public and private sectors. The 9th of December marks the International Anti-Corruption Day, which aims at raising awareness of the dangers of corruption. On 31st of October 2003, the General Assembly adopted the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and requested that the Secretary General designate the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime as Secretariat for the Convention's Conference of States Parties. The 2022 International Anti-Corruption Day seeks to highlight the crucial link between anti-corruption and peace, security and development. At its core is the notion that tackling the crime is the right and responsibility of everyone, and that only through cooperation and involvement of each and every person and institution can we overcome the negative impact of this crime. States, government officials, civil servants, law enforcement, media representatives, the private sector, civil society, academia, the public and youth alike all have a role to play in uniting the world against corruption. Corruption not only follows conflict, but is also frequently one of its root causes. It fuels conflict and inhibits peace processes by undermining the rule of law, worsening poverty, facilitating the illicit use of resources, and providing financing for armed conflict. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our viewers of today's headlines. Shias of Ahlul Bayt hold mourning processions on martyrdom anniversary of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her, in Karbala. Korean religious groups seek to dispel Islam fears. High growth potential for Thailand's halal food industry. New report reveals massive human rights violations at EU's external borders. Saudi Arabia to hold Hajj Expo in January 2023. December the 9th marks International Anti-Corruption Day. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Please contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news, and thank you all for watching. We pray to Allah Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. And as we've been reporting all week, this is the anniversary of the martyrdom of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, peace be upon her, as reported in the second narration of 75 days. And we at Shia Waves would like to wish all of the believers condolences on these holy nights. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ولله الأسماء الحسنى ولله